We are live. Hey guys, I'm Wolfie, and today we are going to check into Deebo Samuel situation is the hot topic. So of course we're going to keep talking about the Deebo Samuel. Then we'll jump into the top 100 free agents to kind of get a look like what's going on there. Then some 49ers news around the NFL. It's kind of dried up a little bit, the well a little bit. So of course the conversation is Deebo Samuel. So this show might be shorter than usual. Thank you guys for being part of this show. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. Let me just go ahead. Give me 1 second. I have to. Hold on. All right. 1 second. 1 second, y'all. Oh my God. Epic fail on my part. Okay, so we'll go ahead and jump right into it. Before we get into it, as always, we're brought to you by water. Without it, I wouldn't be here today. It's good for your skin. It's good for your organs. It's good for your bowels, as Poggy would say. It's just downright good for you. Make sure you're drinking a cup a day for your body, just for you, you know? H2O, it's the way to go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Deebo Samuel we already knew this kind of, but it's just way more put out there. It's more like this is happening, whether you like it or not. It's not like just rumor. It's just constant words coming out that Deebo is not expected to be back and not to be on this team. So it sounds to me he's not going to be on this team for sure. And apparently the front office is fully prepared to not have him on the squad either. So we're not going to have Deebo Samuel on this team, I feel like, no matter what, just based on what you hear. And personally, I don't think that's the best thing, considering just that I do think they should trade him, right? But I don't think they should trade him unless you get like a 5th round draft pick after June 1st for next year, or you trade him into in a package so that you get a bigger piece. Then you take that big cap hit before June 1st. I'm fine with that. A lot of people are like, we'll just cut bait. Why don't you just cut bait? The reason why you just don't cut bait with him and after June 1st is because he can go anywhere he wants. He can go to any team that he wants after June 1st, meaning he could open up the window to go to the Rams. You can open the window to go to the Seahawks, the Cardinals, even though I wouldn't feel much threat for that. Cowboys, Eagles, really kind of you're doing him a favor more so, especially considering all the shit that the drama he's caused, the diviness that he's caused, the problems that he's caused. It's not worth giving him that option. So if I was the 49ers personally, I'd be like, okay, no matter what, I have to get a piece out of this. And after June 1st, I'll trade him for whatever piece I possibly can to somebody. So that way it's within my control. It's within what I get to say if I was the front office. So no matter what, with Deebo in my hands and the control that I have, I'm going to send him to a team by my choice. I'm going to make sure he doesn't go to a rival. I'm going to make sure he doesn't go somewhere where we play him this year. I'm going to make sure he goes somewhere that he cannot have this revenge tour. That's why you cannot cut bait with him, that you just got to live with it and keep him on the roster after June 1st if you can't find a trade partner for him. But I'm pretty sure you would be able to find a trade partner for him if you're willing to accept a 7th, 6th, or 5th round draft pick for the guy. So I don't think that would be a problem. I don't think cutting him would be the best thing for the 49ers in the end. And he doesn't deserve that kind of treatment. He really honestly doesn't. So do what you got to do with Deebo Samuel. And front office is fully prepared not to have him, and I totally respect that. I totally understand. Next up, what was it? Why do the 49ers need to replace Deebo? What's with this conversation of, 49ers need to replace Deebo? Like, what are they going to do in the draft? Like, who's going to take his spot? No one. Who cares? Brock Purdy has Brandon Ayuk, has Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings, George Kittle, and Jacob Cowing, who we drafted last year. Everything else, every other weapon is just death piece at that point. I don't understand this conversation of, hey, you need to have a replacement for Deebo. Who's gonna take? It was Pearsall last year, was it not? Was that not the conversation of, Pearsall is going to take Deebo's place? Well, guess what? He's doing it. He's doing it now. So What is this ridiculous conversation of having to get a replacement of Deebo Samuel when the Deebo Samuel replacement is Ricky Pearsall? That is the Deebo replacement. So we don't have to go out of our way to get another number one wide receiver. We don't have to go get another Deebo replacement. We have him already. So I don't understand this conversation of we got to replace him somehow. He's already replaced. What are we talking about? How many more weapons does Brock Purdy need at this point? He's got Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings, George Kittle, Jacob Cowing. Everything else is either depth or someone you get in the draft in the 4th to 5th round. You don't need to go out of your way to get a guy who replaces Deebo, who's supposed to be a number one wide receiver caliber wide receiver. You already have 2 of them. You have Ricky Pearsall and you have Brandon Ayuk. At this point, the only thing you really need is a speed guy. You need a speed guy, right? That I can understand. But he's not going to be a number one target type speed guy. He's just going to guy who could take the top off the defense. That's all you really need. Jacob Cowing is supposed to be that guy, and we drafted him last year. Give him an opportunity. But if not, go out and get Dimey Brown, who's not going to be expensive. Get Hollywood Brown, who's not going to be expensive. Just something like that. People are talking like you need to get a number one wide receiver in T. Higgins, Devontae Adams. Who's gonna like Deebo hasn't been that guy since 2021 anyway. So what are you replacing? What's this dire need all of a sudden of replacing Deebo? I do not get it. I absolutely don't get it. So I think personally we're fine. We're fine with wide receiver. We can get one in the 4th round or 5th round, whatever, sign a nobody depth piece wide receiver, someone who's not going to demand the ball a lot to kind of target. Brock Purdy has plenty of weapons. He has plenty to work with. So I think we need to move on from this conversation of replacing Deebo. It's already been done. It's already been done. So that's what I got to say about the whole Deebo Samuel situation and what's happening there. Love the Get Up Wolf ad. Appreciate it. Someone told me recently that I don't represent the 49ers enough in my lives. So I was like, okay, well, I will I'll make sure that I represent enough in these lives. So that's where this comes from. Just people are saying like, sometimes I wear a green hat with a regular shirt and the only thing I have is my light and my flag. So I just thought, I was like, okay, I do have 49ers stuff, so let me just put it on. Yeah, so I just like wearing comfortable clothes, but today I just thought I'd make a gimmick out of it and just be like, yeah, these are my 49ers stuff. So I do have 49ers things. Don't get used to this because it's actually kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little hot. I'm kind of sweating. I might end up taking it off, but yeah. Salvador in the house. Good to see you, Papa J in the house. Best mod broken ass for Tyler Helton in the house. Best Chiefs fan I know. Welcome, brother. Welcome. So that is the Deebo thing, and that's how I feel about Deebo in that situation. We don't need a Deebo replacement. Just get rid of him. Just get a 5th round draft pick for him after June 1st, 6th round, 7th round. You don't need a 5th or 6th round pick in this year's draft. You got 10 picks in this draft. You don't. There's no reason to make it a dire need to get rid of him or cut. Just don't cut him is my thing. Just do not cut the guy because you're giving him options to go somewhere. You don't want him going anyway. So that's my only concern with the whole Deebo thing. And if you trade Deebo has to go somewhere for a bigger piece. So if you want a package of the 11th pick with Deebo for something else, I'm fine with that. Deebo for some other piece somewhere else, I'm fine with that. But as long as it's not just a draft pick, it can't just be a draft pick. If it's just a 5th round, 6th round, 7th round pick, no. I'm waiting after June 1st to take that cap hit. If it's a 3rd round draft pick, I'm doing it. Because at that point, I can get a quality starter, someone who can start, and I can replace I can fill in a hole there in the 3rd round pick. That works. I will take the cap hit, fill in a hole with a 3rd round draft pick. I'll do that. But if it's just a 5th or 6th or 7th round pick, I repeat, do not trade him in season to take that cap hit. That would be stupid, and I would not like that. I'd be totally against it. So let me drink some water. Hey, we're showing some love, Paul J. Appreciate it. All right. Val in the house. Good to see you. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't hit that like button already. So I could have sworn I had 49ers gloves somewhere too, by the way, and I couldn't find them. So, but apparently I don't have them anymore. But all right. So let's go ahead and jump into the next thing, which is articles around the league. This is news stuff around the league. We'll go ahead and jump into that. One is Carolina Panthers apparently is an option, according to a site from the Sports Illustrated. This is the Carolina Panthers team, and they talking about how they might be interested in Deebo Samuel. So let's go ahead and read the package. I have not read the package, by the way. I'm just letting you guys know that right now. I have not read the package, so let's see what they have to say. So this is going to be a shocker to me as well, whatever they have to say. Tyler Helton says, F football for now, not till next year. You won 2 straight Super Bowls the past 2 years, man. Like, stop it. Get over it. All right. There's nothing you should be bummed about. God, I wish my team had a chance for a three-peat this century in this decade and just lost the third one. I wish. You know what? There's teams out here that want to one-peat. You know what I'm saying? There's teams out here that want to one-peat. You're fine. All right. It doesn't matter, simply blah, blah, blah. If the issue is Carolina has limited money to spend, which will complicate the things for the team in free agency. If you got limited money, you probably can't afford it because that's a $50 million cap hit. All right, so this is what they have to say. Samuel, South Carolina native, could return to the East Coast and help out quarterback Bryce Young, the Carolina Panthers, as the team de facto top receiver. The 49ers land a third-round pick in exchange and go in a different direction at the position, while the Panthers give Young the kind of star presence at receiver he needs to continue his development. A receiving trio of Samuel, Xavier Legette, and Jalen Coker. Oh, my voice is cracked like a bitch. I'm sorry. Coker could help Young out in a ton of the passing game, and would give Carolina the chance to trade veteran wide receiver Adam Thielen some time in the offseason. A third-round draft pick? I'll take it. I'll take a third-round draft pick. Hell yeah, dude, in a heartbeat. Deal's already done. I sent it in. Let's check out what that third-round draft pick would be. Was it an early third-round pick? Carolina draft picks. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. This guy's going to offer the 74th pick for Deebo Samuel. Do it. Okay? That needs to happen. I'll take the 74th pick for Deebo right now in a heartbeat. That's done. Because right now the going rate for Deebo is like a 5th rounder. Tops. So I'll take it. If this guy, and this was 2 days ago, so this wasn't like a few months ago or anything like that. This is with knowing everything about Deebo and his cap hit and everything. I will take that 74th pick in a fucking heartbeat. Oh my God. Let's see what we got here. I feel you, homie. I'm good. Not here. Sorry. That was about to say Papa J. Did you see the facility? Shady and James said the Niners should move off Deebo because Brock needs him. All right. Just to respond to that, he did rely on Deebo last year. He tried to rely on Deebo. Guess what? Didn't exactly work out for him. It actually cost him games. You got to understand, like, these people, these mainstream media content creators who are not close to who aren't close to the situation at all, they're just going off hype. They're going off of very little information, and they're just talking heads. It's the same thing with Colin Cowherd. I give Nick Wright a little bit of a little more credit. He does tend to do his little bit of research there, not always, but people like Colin Cowherd, that one Chris guy who says that we should trade Brock Purdy for Myles Garrett or some shit. Those talking heads in these shows aren't close enough or know enough about the team or the players or the drop-off in which they played. They clearly do not know that Brock Purdy tried to rely on Deebo Samuel this year. And guess what? It got him 6 wins. They do not need Deebo. Brock Purdy does not need Deebo. He needs Ayuk, if anything. He needs Ayuk. Deebo, hell no. Because with Deebo being the number one wide receiver, we're 6 wins in. With Ayuk being the number one target, someone Brock Purdy can rely on, we go to the playoffs. The proof is in the pudding. Don't need Deebo. We tried 1 year with Deebo, it doesn't work out. You try a year with Ayuk being the number one target, someone Brock Purdy relies on, we go to the playoffs. So I'm just saying that's ridiculous. It's just these talking heads, man. They're not close enough or aware of the situation at hand. They go based on who they like as a player because sometimes they get personal with these guys. I know Shady and all of them also get personal with these guys. And their bias kicks in, right? Or the hype of a player will kick in. They will not think about what has he done, was he actually used this year, etc. They will not do that. That's why I don't like listening to Colin Cowherd. I don't like listening to the Speak Show, whatever it's called. I don't like listening to those guys because they do not know enough about what's going on. And they'll babble, they'll make up shit, say random shit out of nowhere without using any stats, without using any facts. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. It's so annoying. They kept bringing up 21 season. They could clearly know 2021 season was so long ago, especially in football. It's these people. You got to go off that 1 year, 3 years ago, and not take into account what he did last year when we relied on him, or the year before that, or the year before that. Sometimes, man. Sometimes let me turn on some light. Oh my God! Ugh. Sorry, guys. I didn't get better lighting. This is terrible lighting. So, yeah, this is not good lighting, y'all. Yeah, they tend to bring up 2021 season as if that's exactly what he was last year or the year before that or the year before that. It's like, what have you done recently, right? And that's really what the NFL is. And you can't – these people, again, they're biased. They're friends with these players, and they go based off hype and name recognition almost. That's pretty much what they do. They don't – I bet you couldn't even tell them how many – I bet you they couldn't tell you how many targets he had. I bet you couldn't tell you anything about the Rams game where he dropped balls. Like, they don't know shit. These people, like, that's why I like content creators. That's why I like content creators that are close to teams instead, because they actually focus on the squad. They're actually invested in the team. So I take content creators a lot more seriously than these talking heads that are thrusted into sports media, having to cover all 32 teams, when clearly you could see they do not put in the effort. They actually do not do that. So I don't listen to these people. I listen to content creators because they actually put in the effort. They actually pay attention. And that's more reliable than Shady, right? Or Colin Cowherd, right? Like, I'm not going to hear from a content creator, oh my God, Brock Purdy wears a backwards hat. He's not the franchise quarterback. I'm not going to hear that from a 49ers content creator. I really don't think I'm going to hear that kind of bullshit from a content creator. That's what I'm trying. Like, that's what I'm trying to get at. But I don't know if I did this, but Strawberry in the house, of course. Nikita in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's fantastic so far. So far, it's good. It's good. It's good. My dad's out with Steve Young's brother at Steakhouse. Nice. Awesome. That's super dope. That's super dope. I hope he has a good time. Hope it's a good steak. Hope it's nice, medium rare. You know, I'm a medium rare kind of type guy. So I don't understand how people eat rare. I don't get that shit. So Deebo is a good fit for Brock, who prefers to push the ball down the field. He fit with Jimmy. I like that assessment. I can't remember who brought that up a while back. But I do like this assessment, Strawberry, that honestly he is a Jimmy kind of type quarterback. Dunk it to him, get the yards out of the catch, make it happen. And even today, I don't think Jimmy would be successful with Deebo just because he's not that guy anymore. Deebo can't do those things anymore. He doesn't have the yak. He doesn't have the power. He doesn't have the ball carrier vision anymore. So I understand and it kind of puts in the whole perspective of what they say in turn of that is like this offense has changed where it's now passing. You got a quarterback who can pass the ball now, who actually is accurate with the ball now. So Deebo is that guy you just dunk to, and he takes it for the house. He takes it to the house and takes care of the quarterback. So I do agree it's time to move on from Deebo, even in that aspect. So, like, this offense is different. It's no longer catered to him. It's no longer catered to what he does. And even if it was catered to what he doesn't do it good anymore. He's done. He's donezo. Papa J with the $5 super chat. Hey! As the 49ers chat sports would say. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for support. Awesome. All right. Papa J showing up. I appreciate the support. You the man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I just, I try to come on here and try to show up for you guys, and you guys make this what it is, man. Surely. It's a ride. It's a ride. You agree? All right. Strawberry agrees. That doesn't happen very often, guys. That doesn't happen very often. Deebo goes for Raiders, and Darnold could be a Raiders. I mean, he has to go somewhere in the AFC. If I'm the 49ers, I'm looking for an AFC team. Just because I know I just said all those things about Deebo, I just don't like I always say, there's nothing more motivating than a chip on your shoulder. There's nothing more motivating than someone doubting you. There's nothing more motivating, even if it's something he's conjured up himself, even if it's something that he believes he didn't get the most opportunities, he's going to go somewhere at age 29 and try his best to prove the 49ers wrong. And he could end up doing that. He's not doing that for us, right? He's not doing that for us. So it doesn't matter if he ends up doing it somewhere else because he's not doing it for us. So he could go end up doing it somewhere else. So it's not like, oh, we should have traded him. He wasn't going to play like that for us, regardless. So trading him was the right thing to do. And for him to have that chip on his shoulder and prove other one, fine with him. Go get the bag. Do what you got to do. But Deebo needs to go somewhere where he can take that chip on his shoulder in the AFC so that we don't have to worry about it. And the only time we'll probably have to worry about it is in the the Super Bowl, hopefully. So I wouldn't really trade him to the Colts or the Texans. Honestly, I'd probably trade him to the Colts. If we play him, it would have to be a team. We'd have to trade him to a team that we play that isn't very good. So like the Colts, I wouldn't mind trading to that, but I wouldn't trade him to the Texans because I feel like DeMeco Ryan, CJ Stroud, and the offense will figure it out. So, yeah. All right. Okay. You agree also? Hey, I appreciate it. I told Jesse that he needs to come and join you on a show, and he gave the thumbs up. Maybe we can set him as, oh, shit. Oh, shit. I'll have to dress a lot more professional than this. But honestly, I don't know if maybe someday. I don't know. Me and Jesse disagree on a lot of things. So maybe if it's the Jesse I think you're talking about from Last Second Sports, good guy. I always preach like you're allowed to disagree and stuff like that. But I don't know if we would. I think it'd be more of a clash than it would be a enjoyable segment. That's kind of the vibe I get. But I don't mind the guy. If you like him, that's fine. But nothing much. You and Papa J. I email Forrest Brian. I email him. He's ghosting you, Nikita. Don't let him ghost you. We'll get on him. We'll get on him. He owes you a jersey. All right. All right. This is one's interesting. I thought this article was interesting here too as well, and I want to jump into that, which was 49ers. ESPN projects the 49ers closer to rebuilding team than a contender. That's wild. That is a wild fucking statement, in my opinion. So I don't understand that at all because there's no way. You have still all the studs. You still have the running backs. You have the wide receivers. You have the tight end. Really, you just got to address O-line in the trenches, just the trenches in general. And even if you don't get any solid pieces for a corner, a replacement linebacker, or the safeties, you're fine. This team will still compete. Like, this team is just little pieces away from finally competing. So I don't understand that aspect. But let's go ahead and jump into what they have to say, and let's see if it makes sense at all. Experts analysis will project how teams will look heading to 2025 season. Fowler placed all 32 teams into 11 different tiers, from major contenders to still rebuilding. I guess if there's just two, if there is just two tiers, I guess he just the team just falters into that situation. But no. This is interesting. The total of 2025 draft picks projected are 8. Salary cap space -20. What is this? This isn't right. This information isn't correct. I don't understand that. The San Francisco are the benefit of doubt because Shannon's regime of being a team that will be amongst the NFC. But according to Fowler, the 49ers are stuck in the middle along with doubt. We don't have negative $21 million. What? We don't have negative $21 million. We have more than 8 draft picks. What the fuck is this? The 49ers subpar 2024 shouldn't prompt a full rebuild. And really, is there any choice but to run it back? The roster is saddled with bloated salaries, only suitable for a win-now plan, scaling back in parts as sound strategy. And the 49ers are doing so by designing defensive tackle Javon Hargrave a post-June first cut and seeking a trade to wide receiver Deebo Samuel. Once those two moves are made, the 49ers are focused on Brock Purdy extension. Star tight end George Kittle also is a year from free agency. Where San Francisco needs to prove it is along the offensive line. It was thin before guard Banks was set to free agency. What? Jeremy Fowler doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about because this is all wrong. He must have got his papers wrong. Because am I tripping? I'm pretty sure. Let me double check our cap space real quick. I'm pretty sure we got a lot of cap space. Hold on. Over the cap, 49ers. This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Over the cap. Load. Oh, this is news. Okay, sorry. Let me just double check. Now I'm tripping. Yeah, man. $48 million, $48.2 million. What is this guy talking about? Is this old? Nope, this was February 13th, 2025. The qualifying tier was but a move or two away if you're the 49ers. The move could be as simple as getting healthy and welcome back Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, and Brandon Ayuk. San Francisco is in a position to add an impact player in the first round. They're also picking early enough in the second to add a difference maker. If this draft resembles anything like 2024, finding a starter isn't limited to the first 2 days of the draft. In the offseason, where players like Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Micah Parsons, and Trey Hendrickson could be on the trade block, the front office might find more value in trading the market. Yeah, dude, this guy's on crack. Okay. This guy needs to take a break. Okay. This guy needs to not talk about the 49ers anymore. If he's saying shit like that, that makes absolutely no sense. So he had to get some shit twisted. So 49er meeting in the house. It is all decked out in 49ers. I recently had somebody, I'll say the story again, but I recently had somebody tell me that I don't rep the 49ers enough in my lives. It's just my flag and my light. So I was like, okay, man, I'll bring it next live. I am sweating like crazy though. It's hot. Thankfully I got my fan here, but I'm sweating right now. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, we have 10 draft picks in the 9th most cap space. What a dumbass. Could say it better than myself, Strawberry. He's been smoking crack. 10% Nikita. His dog must eat his papers. He forgot everything on the papers. I thought it was like an old article I must have brought up or something. But yeah, that's so freaking wrong. That's such a wrong statement. But that's what's so great about you guys disagreeing. It would be a lot of different perspectives of the 49ers organization that us listeners would love to hear. Yeah, it's true. I just, yeah, I'll think about it. It's just the thing is, like, I'm all for people disagreeing, but I feel like with him, it would be a different level of disagreement. I don't think it would go over well. I feel like it would be, that's my only concern. I don't think I've ever seen anybody disagree with him before and see how he acts. You know, that's my only concern. How is he going to act if I say, no, I don't agree with that. I don't think that would work. Or I don't think that's a good idea or whatever. Because some people out there, if you say that to them, they will freak out or they'll take offense to that. Or if you say like, I don't think that's true, he's actually this good or whatever, they can't take that kind of criticism well. And I don't know if he actually could take that criticism well or not. I've never seen it. So if he can, and it's respectful and stuff, then yeah, I'm all for it. But I want to be able to disagree without having it to be like this, back and forth, or like you have to defend yourself kind of type disagreement. I want to be able to disagree and then, it working out. Well, showing some love. That's what I like to see. So I gotta go because there is this fine lady that's looking at me that needs some attention. Hey, get it, buddy. Get it. Be smooth. Yeah, as the kids say, show some riz. Just saying. Show some riz. I think you can do it. I believe in you. I'm gonna take some of this off, guys, because it's kind of hot. It's actually kind of hot, so I'm gonna take some of this off. Oh, okay. Woo. That's better. All right. It was really hot, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sweating like crazy, man. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the next thing, which because clearly Jerry Fowler doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, so we figured that one out. The Carolina Panthers are open to trading, according to Sports Illustrated, who works for Carolina Panthers. No! Oh my God! I actually deleted the article. No! I deleted the article. No! All right, let me see if I can bring it back. Sorry, guys. I am pulling a Deebo right now, guys. I am pulling a Deebo. Dropping the ball like a motherfucker. Rebuilding team. Where's that article? Ooh, dude. I can't. Oh, my God. All right, so I lost the article of the top 100 free agents. It's gone. Well, there's other articles here that we could jump into. That would be interesting. So let's go ahead and do that, actually. Where was it? Deebo Samuel trade requested. Convinced Deebo. This one's interesting. No, never mind. We're not gonna give this guy attention. The one that shall not be named. We're not gonna look at his article. Where is that? CEO Jerry puts foot down contract. This blockbuster trade for Brock Purdy. We could jump into that. No, let's just do the top free agents. NFL 2025. All right, I found it. A little bit more research. I was able to find it. One second. I know it's kind of dull, but all right. Now 49ers need to trade Deebo and you. Wow. Show her your wrench. Steve-O in the house. Can't believe you just said that, dude. Check your history. Did you see the mock that has us trading Deebo number 11 Jackson for number 5 to draft Mason Graham? I'm all for it. I mean, I don't think that as long as the 49ers believe in Mason Graham, I'm personally not big on him. I don't know if you guys have seen my post on the community tab or not, but I when I watch him play, I just don't see this freaking incredible one-of-a-kind D tackle that's just going to wreak havoc in the NFL. I just don't see it. I don't see what everyone else sees, especially when that line for Michigan has, like, I think their edge rusher, Grant, or he could be the D tackle, I can't remember, but they have an edge rusher and another D tackle who are projected to go in the 3rd and 4th round. So he has a line that's going to be drafted in between the beginning of the 3rd round pick all the way up to the back end of the 4th round draft pick. That's the line he's working with. And then if you actually go watch his highlights, a lot of his highlights are the pocket completely collapsing around him. I do not see or understand the hype of the guy. He looks good. Like, he's going to be, like, don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I think he's going to be a starter, right? I think he will be good. I just don't think he is this top D tackle that everyone brags about. Like, everyone's saying, hey, you're going to be, like you're going to be like Chris Jones of this draft, or Aaron Donald of this draft. That's kind of a bit of high praise. Or trying to think of an elite D tackle like DeForest Buckner or some shit. No, I don't see that from Mason Graham. But if we traded up for him, I mean, if the 49ers believe in him, it is a need, right? It is a need. So I wouldn't care. It is an upgrade from Deebo from the 11th pick. You are just using him to move up necessarily. So it's really like a 11th pick and a 5th round pick to move up to the 5th round. I wouldn't mind also sending him to the Jags. Would not mind that at all because I don't believe in the Jags. So that would work out. So if we ended up drafting Mason Graham, that just reassures us that we draft Mason Graham. But however, I feel like you would have better options of maybe Abdul Carter might fall to the 5th pick. Who else? I would rather take that wide receiver. I know I just said we should take a wide receiver, but McMillan is a one-of-a-kind wide receiver. I would rather take him at 5. Will Johnson would be a better option. Mason Graham is like my least favorite top 5, top 10 option almost. But if the 49ers drafted him, I'll be fine with it because it's almost like if we were to give up Deebo in the 11th pick to move up to the 5th pick to get Mason Graham, it's almost like drafting him with the 11th pick and then just losing Deebo, which is not a problem at all. So I wouldn't hate it, but I'd much rather take Will Johnson, much rather take the wide receiver McMillan, much rather do that. And wide receiver is far from our need, far from it. But he's such a one-of-a-kind wide receiver. His ceiling is so fucking high, but it wouldn't be exactly smart if that makes sense. But it is best player available, and you are getting best player available. So Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham is up there, but I'd much rather have Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, McMillan, and Will Johnson. I'd rather draft those 4 guys at number 5, but that's just me. But I wouldn't cry or throw a fit if we drafted Mason Graham because obviously the 49ers could use him and would use him. No, I draft was no player in the draft. Samir Stewart. Oh my God, dude. He's so fucking trash. He's so garbo. I don't understand. He's garbo for the hype that he's getting, but he's a 3rd, 4th round draft pick. He's a late 3rd, early 4th kind of type-ish player where he's good at run stopping, and that's it. He's a run stopper. That's it. Ken Grant's also D-tackle, likely go at the end of the 1st, 2nd round. That's what I mean. Like his line is set. The line that Mason Grant's working with is incredible. So like he benefits from that regardless. And then some people are like, yeah, but look at the Minnesota game. Poggy tells me that. I think someone else told me that once. Minnesota has a god-awful offensive line. God-awful offense. You can find highlights of a lot of players destroying that line. Whenever I see a highlight of a player that I'm like looking at or whatever, and it's against Minnesota, I immediately erase it. I'm like, that's not an achievement. So I immediately ignore it. So I'm actually all for trading back from 11 to get an extra 2nd or 3rd. That's what I'm saying. Like I told, like you and me, Strawberry, are just fucking. You and I are just on it, dude. Like, look, I think that if a player doesn't fall to the 49ers, because we all know that players, sometimes players reach or they get a lot of hype from the combine or leading up to the draft, players will jump up. The players, like if Nick Scorton went up high, Nick Scorton could go in the top 10. Mikael Williams could go in the top 10 for sure. Ashton Genty could be there. So it really kind of opens the door for a player to fall, like Will Johnson, like Mason Graham, if you wanted to get him at 11, like I guess Abdul Carter wouldn't do. I can't see Abdul Carter doing that, or Travis Hunter, or McMillan could fall to you. So one of those 3 players could fall to you. But if a player doesn't fall to the 49ers, trade back. Every time I do a mock draft, man, and I always come with the idea of them not being there. I don't like the idea of drafting a tackle there. There's no tackle at 11 where I'm like, okay, get this guy. Okay. Josh Simmons from Ohio State would be the guy, if not for the injury he had to his knee and having to get surgery. If it wasn't for that knee injury, he'd be the number 1 tackle in this draft. he'd be the number one tackle by far. But he has that knee injury, and you don't know if he's going to be good or not. So you want to take that risk falling further back into the draft, maybe back end first, then draft him. I would do that. But if I had the 11th pick, I would trade back if I didn't end up getting a steal that fell to me, like what happened with Micah Parsons, for example, because Micah Parsons coming on the draft was supposed to be a top 5 pick, and he kept falling and falling and falling and falling until the Dallas Cowboys got him at 12. So, and which is an absolute steal. Same thing on Deebo Carter. That could happen to him, and he could fall to the 49ers at 11. If you cannot get a generational player, if you cannot get an absolute steal, like best player available, I mean like true best player available at 11, such as those players I mentioned, trade back. Let someone else take Luther Burden Jr., who's supposed to be like a Deebo Samuel type, who I think will be better than Deebo. Let someone else take Nick Scorton there. Let someone else take James Pierce there. Let someone else take Ashton Genty there. Whatever. Fall back, lose out on Williams, who's supposed to be like the right tackle for the right tackle, one of the best right tackles coming out of the draft. You can let him fall because there's plenty of right tackles like a Membu you can get later on. There's options, right? And I just think that if you sacrifice a little bit by giving up on some talent, you can get more second-round picks, more third-round picks, because there's a lot of talent in the second to fourth round. There really is. And the reason why there's a lot of talent in the second and third round is because there's a lot of wide receivers that is probably going to go in the first round, like Luther Burden's going to go there. McMillan's going to go there. There's another one I can't think of on the top of my head. There's one in there. You might miss out on Harmon, but that would be kind of a bummer. But there's plenty of D tackles in the second round you can get with TJ Sanders out of South Carolina in the second round, who I absolutely love. I love TJ Sanders out of South Carolina, one of my favorite D tackles. But you can get him later on. There's so many edges in this draft. So many edges in this draft. You might miss out on Mike Green. You might miss out on James Pierce. You might miss out on Mikael Williams, Abdul Carter. There's another one too, but you could end up getting Jack Sawyer, right? Phenomenal D end. I love Jack Sawyer. I think he's an incredible D end. You can get Prince. I can't pronounce his name. I'm going to butcher it, but I just call him Prince. And then Jack Sawyer, and get him in the front end of the second round. I just think the 49ers should trade from 11, possibly like to 18 to 20. Then from 18 to 20, go back to like the 25 to 28. Then take your draft pick. Then draft there. I just think that would be the smart thing to do, just because what is really strong in this draft, like, for example, you might miss out on Tyler Warren. Okay? You might miss out on Fannin Jr. You might miss out on Loveland out of Michigan. Right? You might miss out on those top 3 tight ends. But Gunnar Helm is a third-round draft pick tight end who is like the best, I believe, the best blocking tight end in this draft, who's actually pretty good at catching the ball too, who would fit perfectly, absolutely perfect for the 49ers. Gunnar Helm would. Luke Lackey from Iowa State. He's phenomenal pass catching the ball. And we all know that if you can't block in Iowa, George Kittle is tying you don't play, right? I like Lackey a lot. He's supposed to be a 4th-round draft pick. Gunnar Helm's supposed to be a 3rd-round draft pick. Good tight end there. You might miss out on Tyler Warren. You might miss out on Fannin Jr. You might miss out on Loveland. But there's 2 to 3 other tight ends you could easily get in the 3rd round, 4th round. That would be perfect. Guards. There's guards you can get in the 2nd round. Donovan Jackson. You can get not McMillan, but I can't think of his name, from West Virginia. I think it's West Virginia, or is it? Yeah, I think it's West Virginia. I can't remember his name. He's going to be in the 2nd round. He's supposed to move to guard. There's a couple other guards you can also get in the 2nd and 3rd round if you wanted to. There's aren't really any centers. That's why I think in free agency you need to go get a center. Gray Zabel is going to be a 2nd to 3rd round draft pick. He can play center or guard. You got him there. There's guards galore there. And that's what the 49ers need. There's D tackles galore in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. There's guards in 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. There is D ends that's going to be in the 2nd round that you can get. And those are the biggest needs of the San Francisco 49ers. They're the biggest needs, and you can get those in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round. It just almost makes absolute perfect sense to trade back more so than just draft somebody. If you took a wide receiver in the first round, I hope it's because you traded back. If you traded back from the 11th pick all the way to the 19th to 20th or whatever, and you drafted a wide receiver to replace Deebo, like you got Luther Burden the third, I wouldn't mind that. Maybe get Derek Harmon. He might fall to you. I love Derek Harmon. I actually like him more than Mason Graham. You can probably get him towards that situation. You can get Jonas Savaiania, right, who's supposed to move to guard. You can get him at the back end of the first. It's so good. It's just so good to trade back. It just makes too much sense. Next time we do a mock draft, by the way, Poggy is going to be like, no, fuck that. We're not trading back. I'm going to tell him we're trading back. I'm telling you right now, we're trading back. So don't worry. Next mock draft we do on Sunday, guys, we're trading back. We are not, because we're going to go into the draft assuming that Will Johnson, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, and McMillan don't fall to the 49ers. So I prefer JTT to Sawyer. The JT Tualamawala, whatever his name is. I don't like him. I am not a fan of him. I do not think he's that good. I don't see it. When I watch him play, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. He's got the he's a lengthy guy, but I think he benefits a lot from Jack Sawyer. I know he has more sacks. I get that, but I just don't see him as an impact player. I don't like him. I'm not a fan of that guy. I hope we don't get him. I'm not a fan. I like Conyers and Haas, and they will go in the 5th or 6th round. I don't know enough about those guys yet. Haven't gone that far. But I'll definitely check out those guys, whether it's Conyers and Haas. Conyers and Haas. All right, I'll write that down. But you can get some good running backs in the 4th round. You got Scatabo might fall to the 4th round. He should actually. Dylan Sampson, Ollie Gordon II is going to possibly fall back there to late 3rd, 4th round draft pick. Mello, what's his name? Mello Dotson out of Kansas. That guy's phenomenal, dude. That guy's such a good corner, and he's going to be a 4th round draft pick, maybe late 3rd round draft pick as well. He's going to be good. Chase Lunch from UConn. He's a tackle who's 6'8". He can play right tackle. He's very good in the run game, but not the best at pass blocking based on the research I did. Anthony Belton is going to be a tackle who will be in the 4th round as well. You can get a linebacker, Danny Stutzman. There's so many options. I just think trading back is the way to go. Trade Deebo to pick the Chargers for Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack's a free agent. He's a free agent. You just pick him up. Juan in the house. Yes, to Grace Bell. I'm a big fan. He's a gem of mine. I actually liked him before. I actually liked Zabel before all the hype. I remember I was watching YouTube and I was going through like some videos trying to find some guards and tackles and stuff. But the knock on him was that he didn't play against top tier talent. And then once you saw in the Senior Bowl that he was able to compete with top tier talent, you're like, okay, he's good. He can do it. He's actually good. Max is a free agent. Big Jonah. I like Jonah too. Maybe the back. He's going to turn guard though. I'm glad Wolfie is not the one drafting for us. Well, that hurts my feelings. I think I do fantastic. That hurts my feelings, man. I think I draft fantastic. I think that trading back is the way to go. I want to know why you think that. Why you think that? What did I say that would be bad? Is it because I wanted to trade back? It's not bad to trade back. Like, if it's because this is trade back, then I don't understand that part. Because at that point, you're reaching for players. You're forcing the issue, and that's not something you want to do. But, yeah. I don't know about that, dude. I don't know about that. I'm assuming that's the reason why. I'm assuming. You should do 2 different mocks, one where you stay put and the one where you trade back. Yeah, I guess we could do that. That's not a bad idea. Trade Deebo in the 11th pick to the Raiders and get Max Crosby. I'd do that. I would do that. We do. We really do need a D end, so that'd be worth it. That's the biggest need. It's a top 3 position in the NFL. It's the way to go. Hawes has some compared to Charlie Warner, but with much better hands, but a hell of a blocker. I'll check him out. It's tight end Hawes. Look out to them. Tight end. If we trade down, what do we get in return? It just depends upon where you want to get. Hopefully, you can get a 2nd round pick. but I don't want to trade out of the first. I want it to be like a subtle thing. I want you to go from the 11th pick, maybe to like 18th to 19th to 20th, and then trade back again if you get a good package. But hopefully you get a second and a third, maybe 2/3. And if you do enough trading back but still stay in the first, maybe get 2 seconds. It just depends upon what people are willing to offer. But in the package, you would have to have a second in there, a third in there for sure. Some of that nature. Just depends on how far back you want to go. Just depends on how far you want to pick up. No, because you're hating on good players. Am I? I don't think I am. I just don't think JTT. It's probably because the JTT guy, right, from Ohio State. I just don't think he's that good, right? I watched him enough. I was like, nah, I don't see it. Mason Graham, I don't see it. Still a good player. I still think he's going to be good. Trying to think of another player that I hate on. The other people are super high on. I can't really think of one. I think those are the only 2 players I've disagreed with being good on. Someone else says you should do 2. There was one where Omar Norman Lott. I like him too. It definitely right after Sanders, it goes Norman Lott. From Tennessee. I'm actually a fan of him. I actually like him too. He shows some promise. Alex, I think his name's Alex Collins from Texas. I think he's all right. I think he's okay. He's got a bag, but he's slow. He's slow off the get off. He's slow, like really getting that burst going. But once like you give him like a second, 2 seconds, he starts to rev up and really does damage. So he's just slow off the start, off the snap. That's the only problem I have with Alex. But Graham I like, but I don't want Michigan players. Yeah, we've had some bad luck with some Michigan players for sure. Why do people keep bringing up Max Crosby? I like the Raiders would ever trade him to the Niners. They took a lesser deal from Chicago instead of trading with the Mac Niners. I think weren't at the time though, they were in Oakland. So like the rivalry is there. I don't think the rivalry is there anymore. I don't think especially Gruden too, since Gruden really is kind of like a rivalry kind of guy. He would take something like that personal. I think it's different. I just think now they're in AFC, they're in Vegas. I don't think that animosity is there anymore. It's really up to Max Crosby. Does he still feel that rivalry? Does he still feel like, because he's going to have a choice, right? He's going to have some like decisions, be like, hey, I want to go here because he's just that kind of caliber of player. But I do think it's going to be a long shot because I do feel like Max Crosby wants to be a Raider for life. I think he wants to stay with the Raiders for his entire career. And if he feels like at any point the Raiders are going the right direction, he's going to stay there. I feel like it's going to be more. I feel like it's going to be more of a challenge to get Max Crosby than Myles Garrett or Trey Hendrickson. I feel like that one is like there's not a lot of hope for that one. I don't think that would happen. If it happened, that'd be great. But I just don't have that vibe. I don't feel like it's going to work. The Raiders have nowhere towards us, and neither do we. Yeah, that happened to end a long time ago. I thought it was Mark Davis, so who still owns the Raiders and hates the Niners? Okay, man, relax. But that's a good point. Mark Davis is I don't know if he hates the Niners, though. I don't know if it was – I think Mark Davis probably just signed off on not trading Khalil Mack to the 49ers, especially them being in Oakland. I think that's the issue. I do not think it's because he actually hates the 49ers. I don't think that's actually the case. I think it was just because like John Gruden was like, hey, I don't want to trade the 49ers. This is rivalry. And Mark Davis seems like a kind of guy that would be like, yeah, I agree with that. Let's not do that. Or no, we're in Oakland. We can't be helping out Bay Area guy and stuff like that. I don't think it's really Mark Davis down to a core saying, I despise the 49ers down to a T. Because if that was the case, then I would agree. If Mark Davis truly hates the 49ers like so much, right? I would understand that. Then I would understand that. But I don't think that's actually the case. I definitely don't think it's the case anymore. Can we get a third for Deebo, or is that basically impossible? I think it's impossible. If you can get a third for Deebo, do it immediately. Pull the trigger. Let nothing stop you. That is something that needs to happen. If you can get a third for Deebo, do it. Do it. It needs to happen. That value is insane because right now his value is like a 5th, a 6th, or 7th round pick. I would take on that cap hit of Deebo if you can get a 3rd round pick for him. I would do it in a heartbeat. Like, I wouldn't even stall. I'd rush to get it done just before they could change their mind. If you can get a 3rd round pick for Deebo. And I just went through an article where apparently a Sports Illustrated guy talked about how he thinks the 49ers should trade Deebo to Carolina, and Carolina has the 74th pick, I believe it said. I think that would be a good option if you were to do that. I do think that I would do that in a heartbeat. That is I believe that's an early 3rd round draft pick, just about like the 10th pick in the 3rd round, something like that. So I would do that. So yeah, if we can get a 3rd round draft pick for Deebo, I'm doing it in a heartbeat. That's value. That's value. That's value. Because you get some starters, someone's going to contribute to the team with that 3rd round draft pick. It would just be that'd be a great one. So, all right, we were gonna get through the top 100 players in this free agency class, but I think I'll save that for the next live. And we'll go through the free agent players, but just real quick, I'll just tell you some free agents I've written down that I like that the 49ers should pursue. If you guys see my post earlier, you guys know who I'm about to bring up. Hopefully some bum-ass team like the Browns, because a 3rd rounder, it takes all Deebo's cap for only I hope so. And takes the cap? Fuck, dude, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would be a steal. All right, so here's some offensive players the 49ers can get. Will Fries from the Colts. He's out there. Trey Smith, who's a guard from the Chiefs. Tevin Jenkins, also a guard. You can get Ben Bredesen, who's also a guard. You get a few guards. Coleman Shelton, who's a center guard. Will Hernandez, who's a guard. You can get him as well. So there's a few guards in this free agency class. You can get Josh Myers, Ryan Kelly, Drew Dahlman, Coleman Shelton, like a second place center as well. There's options you could do on the offensive line. Dimey Brown from the Commanders was phenomenal this year. He's a speed guy. Takes it off takes the top off the defense, kind of type wide receiver. Same thing with Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown's kind of been, losing value as of late, but he's still fast and catch the ball. So there's options for the 49ers on the offensive line and what they need. On the defensive side, you got Trayvon Morig, Justin Reed, and Justin Simmons. I know he's relatively slow, but he's still a very good free safety at age 32. And then Jeremy Chin, who's supposed to be a strong safety, but he's fast. You could probably make him a free safety and be just fine. D-tackle Levy Onwuzurike, Puna Ford, B.J. Hill, inside linebacker Jamison Sherwood. Who else? What's his name? Outside linebacker, Strawberry, shout out to you. Outside linebacker Aziz Ojulari, great option as well. I just think those will be there's options for this 49ers team, and it's not like they'll be strapped where they have to go to the draft. There's players that fit in perfectly for the 49ers that would help them out in the upcoming draft. As of right now, like whatever the 49ers do in the free agency, I feel like I'm not, for some reason I'm saying this like some sort of profound thing, and it's something that happens every year, but whatever the 49ers do in the free agency is going to matter so much in this draft. It's going to change a lot of mock drafts. It's going to change who we want to take in the first round. It's going to change who we want to take in the second, third, fourth, etc. It really depends. So, like, for example, if we get Trey Smith, the guard, that changes everything. We don't have to force the issue with the guard anymore. Probably won't draft one. If we get Tevin Jenkins, if we get a center like Josh Myers or Drew Dahlman, we don't have to focus on a center anymore, a guard that could play center in the draft. If you got a wide receiver like Dimey Brown or Hollywood Brown, you wouldn't have to focus on a speed wide receiver or wide receiver in general at that point at all. If you got Trayvon Morig or Justin Reed, you wouldn't have to worry about a safety at that point either. You wouldn't have to draft a safety anymore. You're good. And there's some good safeties in this draft that I like. I like Andrew Makuba. He's good. I like Billy Bowman from Oklahoma. I like him a lot too. They're all fast guys, and they're really good. I like them a lot. So whatever happens in this draft, whatever happens in free agency is going to change everything. There's one thing I do feel like no matter what the 49ers do in free agency, there's one position in particular, and that's tight end. I don't care who's available at tight end. I don't think there's many. I think like Gesicki's out there. I think that's really about it. The only really good tight end that's worth. Even then, there's no tight end where I feel like, okay, let's ignore that position now. Whatever happens in this draft, the 49ers need to come away with a tight end. That's my personal belief. Out of like all the positions, guard, center, tackle, even because you got Alaric Jackson and Jedrick Wills who could play right tackle. Like tight end, you need to come away with a tight end in this draft. Like regardless of what happens in the free agency, regardless of what tight end you sign in free agency, we need a tight end. So, Will Fry is an amazing name for offensive lineman. Yeah, I agree. Let's get Oren Burks back. He was a good run defender for the Eagles. I think he was just really benefiting from that D-line. I don't think he's that good. I understand what he did with some good stuff, but I don't think he's like his value didn't jump up for me. It really didn't. I understand he made some plays, but and that may be a hot take. A lot of people might disagree with me on that, but I just don't think Oren Burks was that type of guy. I like Orange Light, but he really is a pass rusher. He really need a player who can also set the edge in the run game. Yeah, but I think he'd be good beneficial, especially you can use him in the run game, use him for stopping the run or whatever. You're just not asking him to do pass coverage stuff. That's the only thing. You just won't be asking him to do anything in pass coverage, which is fine because Fred Warner's doing that. Makuba should be great for third. I think he'd be great. I think Makuba is worth a late set. I think Makuba could be a late second round pick. He's fucking good. He's really good. I also like Sebastian Castro. Castro's a free safety. I don't think so. I don't think he is. Target Miami kicker in the 5th or 6th round. Nah, dude. Maybe like 7th round or not at all. No more drafting. The only time you draft a kicker is in the 7th round or not at all. I mean, if he played the number D for the league, he probably improved. Can't hurt. Tight end draft is deep, so they should try to specifically if they can trade back and get extra picks. Exactly. I just think Gunnar Helm, Lackey, and you like Hawes and Conyers. There's so many tight ends in this draft that you don't need the top 3 tight ends and be like, okay, I'm satisfied. You could be satisfied with the 4th tight end here. You could be satisfied with the 5th tight end here, 6th tight end, and feel comfortable and like, hey, maybe I got a steal. Tight end, you can easily get in the 3rd, 4th round. It's not a concern. If he played for the number 1 D, maybe he improved. Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't make it a priority. I know he's good at special teams, though. So at least there's that. I know he's good in special teams. So at least you're getting a good special teams player. But I don't think he's a starting linebacker. Because I think he was a backup linebacker even with them. I think he was. I could be wrong. But 49ers could go after F. Browns. I don't know who that is. F. Browns to Z. That's an interesting name. Not gonna lie. T. Browns T. Oh, Browns tight end. You're talking about Njoku? Nah, he's already signed. He's happy with the Browns. He wants to stay with the Browns. I think he's good. I think he's sticking with the Browns. Terror Dome in the house. Good to see him. Good to see him. What Wolfie at work? Listen, hey man, appreciate the support. Appreciate the support. Be sure to hit that like button, guys. If you guys haven't hit that like button already. So, Terror, give me your Discord name so I can send you a friend request and we can do a show. You guys send me your Discord name so we can do a show together. It's how I communicate with 49ers media through Discord as well. It's just Terradome. Okay, all right. You need to patent that shit ASAP. You need to patent Terradome like as soon as possible. So, Owen Burks and Eagles practice at some point this past season. Oh, was he? Well, he kind of earned, like, even if I believe the way I believe, like, I don't think he was that kind of a guy. He earned a contract this year. Someone's going to sign him. Someone's going to give him some money, I think. And I don't think it's somebody that we should really go after. But if he was on the practice squad like that, I guess, yeah, I could see that. But he did prove, regardless of being on the number 1 defense, someone's going to look at that production and be like, okay, I need to have that guy on my team. I I just don't feel that way about it. How about we get that Jets linebacker? What's his name? I have it here. Jamie Sherwood. All for it. According to his draft, according to his profile, he's very fast. Familiar with Robert Saleh. And if Robert Saleh likes him, I tell you what, if we end up signing Jamie Sherwood, that means Robert Saleh believes in him. That means Robert Saleh is going to use him. That means Robert Saleh says, hey, this guy's a good linebacker. Let's get him. If we don't get him and he doesn't get a lot of money somewhere, that means Robert Saleh knows who he is and wouldn't be able to use him. So it really depends. If we sign him, I'll be excited. I'll be thrilled, right? If we don't sign him, I'd be like, okay, maybe we dodged a bullet because he wouldn't work with Saleh, because Saleh's been working with him firsthand. So my hype for the guy is just dependent upon if Robert Saleh wants the guy or not. But I do like the fact that apparently he's fast and a good coverage guy. So 2 coverage guys in Fred Warner and Jamie Sherwood could be a recipe for something amazing. Just saying. He's a good special team. And he's a good special teamers too as well. I'll take that. He might come with Saul. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with that. But yeah, Jamie Sherwood would be a good option. There's some good corners too. You got Byron Murphy would be a good option. I like Byron Murphy up in the free agency class. A corner situation there. DJ Reed could with Saul could come with Saul as well. Saul has some influence. Like another thing is, man, like Saleh has really good influence. Saleh around the league, right? Everywhere you go, he's respected. His name means something, especially as a defensive coordinator. Like, so that's another thing I'm excited about with Robert Saleh is the fact that what he brings to the table is influence. He's going to be able to convince. It's not going to be like, I can't think somewhere like the Saints, for example, who gets Brandon Staley, the defensive coordinator. They're going to struggle bringing people just because, like, I don't know if I believe in the scheme, or the Bengals, what they're doing with their defense. Like, I don't know if I want to go there because I'm not going to be used right. If Robert Saleh wants you, a player's going to feel like, okay, this guy's going to know how to use me. And not only is he going to know how to use me, he's going to want to use me. This sounds like a total pause moment, but you know what I'm saying. Like this, whatever Robert Saleh decides to get, I'll be ecstatic. And it's just for that alone. Whoever we bring in, I'm going to believe in them. That's another thing, like hiring Robert Saleh, man. Like I said, the influence and stuff, but also the influence on the fans. What he does for the fans as well. I just feel like even if it's somebody I don't really believe in defensively, he brings them in, I'm going to be ecstatic. He brings in confidence to the fans. I just love that. I cannot tell you, and I stress enough, how thankful and how I can't wait to see this defense go to work. I can't wait to see who we pick up in free agency. I absolutely can't wait on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to be pumped for it regardless. So we'll see how that goes in the end. But I'm just hoping a fully healthy Warner will be absolutely elite next season. He looked amazing the first few games. I thought he did I didn't even know that he had an ankle issue. I knew he got hurt, but I didn't know it was a high sprain. I think he had a high sprain. I think it was a high sprain ankle, I heard. But, yeah, I think that he's going to be I think Warner is going to be phenomenal, hoping it healthy. Maybe if he doesn't have to carry all the time. I mean, if Warner doesn't feel like he has to carry this defense all the time or whatever, it wouldn't force him in issues where he can get hurt all the time. So hopefully in the end, he doesn't get hurt or whatever. But even if he does get hurt, you still get an elite product out of him. You still get a great linebacker out of him because he was still, even this year, he was still considered the best linebacker. Well, up there because Bond took that from the Eagles, but like he was still considered one of the best linebackers this year. So I would still take that. Jermaine Pratt for the Bengals requested a trade. Not sure how good he is or how expensive, but something to consider. I don't know how good he is either. I mean, he was on a trash defense. Hold on. Like, I know Hendrickson is good, but I don't know enough about – I agree. I don't know about Jermaine Pratt either. Let's look at his PFF profile real quick. Let's take a look at his PFF profile. He's 6'3", 250. According to PFF, he had a 60.2 overall grade, where he was 113th in the league out of 189, which is not very good. He did have, considering there's 2 linebackers on the field, that is 1 through 64 starters. He was the 63rd starter. However, his pass rushing grade wasn't very good, 143. His coverage grade was 125th. So he wasn't very good there, but he did have the 7th most solo tackles. So maybe he can replace Greenlaw there. But that's about it. It just sounds like he's just a run-stopping linebacker. That didn't exactly come. But then again, the scheme he was working with wasn't very good. I don't know. It just depends what you get out. What's his contract? Let's figure out what his contract is. Jermaine Pratt contract. Let's check out his contract. Let's take a look at his contract. Okay. He's cheap. He is cheap. So let me show you guys so you guys can see it. He is a cheap linebacker. He would just be a run stopper based on the information that we saw from PFF there. He would just be a run stopper. But in 2025, he would, let me bring it up. He would have $2.3 million dead money for them, but you have an $8 million cap hit. So I think we would just have the 5.8. We'd have to pay the 5.8. So I think he'd be 5.8 against the cap. So you pay $5.8 million for a run-stopping linebacker, not coverage. So he'd just be doing what Greenlaw does, but I feel like Greenlaw has some coverage ability. Like I don't think Greenlaw's a man coverage kind of type guy, but Greenlaw was good, but between the 5-yard line, like between 5 yards out, like from the line of scrimmage to the 5-yard line to short passes or whatever, he was pretty good. He was good in that point. You're just not going to ask him to do anything beyond that. Can Jermaine Pratt do that? Can he play zone? Can he play man in those kind of like those in that general area between the 5-yard line? I don't know. PFF says he can't, but $5 million for a guy just for a run-stopping linebacker, I'd much rather just draft one. I don't know if I would trade. I don't know if I would trade one at all, to be honest with you. Strawberry says it was a fracture. Okay, that's right. Even worse. My God, a fracture. Rams will go to the Super Bowl. It just depends. Do you have Matthew Stafford or not? If not, if you trade him, I don't see it. I don't see it. I could tell Warner got hurt. He had amazing plays every game that kind of just disappeared. He had a little bit of downgrade after that, but I don't think it was that bad, to be honest with you. Purdy ain't worth a big bag. I disagree. He's totally worth a big bag. Got to give it to him. He went from defensive player of the year to decent. Oh my God, Juan. Did you see Fred went from decent? Oh my God. Just shot me in the heart, Juan. He did not go to decent, brother. Killing me right now, man. Killing me. Thanks for kicking out that Rams fan who stole my avatar and name. What a douche. I didn't kick anybody out. I like it. I mean, he's not really saying anything. He's just kind of talking, really. I like the Chinese right tackle, Eugene from Hawaii. I haven't seen him before. I don't really know what's going on. Get out of here, effing Rams fan. As long as you're being relatively peaceful, he's not causing problems. Not calling people like really personal, gross ass shit. That's all I care about. Lambs are going to be down bad next season with Stafford gone. If he's gone, then yeah, definitely. I don't see that team going anywhere. This is a bit harsh, Nikki. That's a bit harsh. He stole my shit. He's pretending to be me. F that. I don't think he is. I think he stole your profile pic. Strawberry Rams fan. I mean, Warner had multiple forced fumbles every game and pick sixes, but those plays completely stopped. Yeah, but I think you're thinking about way too high of the standard that he was held. He was playing like a defensive player of the year, right? At that time, like you said, that kind of disappeared. But I don't think just because that aspect disappeared, he becomes decent. I still think he was great. I think he was still really good. oftentimes the best player on the field on the defense. So I don't know about that, but I liked Warner this year, even with despite his injury. I thought he played really well. So, but I do agree. I really hope he stays healthy, especially considering he's probably going to get a contract extension this year. So he's got some hype to live up to. And being hurt this year would be a bummer, especially with Robert Saleh coming back this year. So that would definitely suck. So, all right, guys, I'm going to bounce. I'm going to be out of here. I'm going to make some dinner, some din, eat some food, do my thing. We had an hour and 15-minute show, and it's because of you guys and your awesome comments and what you have to say. So I appreciate it. I'm not going to keep wearing all this 49ers gear all the time just because, like, this sweatshirt, it's hot in here, man. Okay? It is hot. But thank you guys so much for coming in here, man. You guys are awesome. Juan, thank you so much for jumping in here. I appreciate you. Strawberry, as always, I appreciate your commentary as well. Nikita, thank you so much for being in here. I appreciate you. Congratulations to your Eagles. Terra Dome, as always, appreciate you too as well. Hope work is awesome. Hope everything over there is awesome. Salvador, I appreciate you jumping up in here. He's got one last comment. I'll give him this. He hasn't comment much. Is Greg Gorilla not coming back next season? He is not going to come back. I don't see him coming back, which is fine. I don't think it's not like you're losing Fred Warner. I don't think it's the end of the world losing Greenlaw. But it does sound like he's not, just based on vibe and what people are saying. He's going to ask for a lot of money. And if he wants top dollar, then no, right? If he wants top dollar, I wouldn't pay him. I wouldn't pay him. Michael in the house. Goodbye, Michael out of the house. Good to see you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining as well, getting right in there. Hope you hit that like button as well. Strawberry, Salvador, Juan, appreciate you guys. Nikita, as always, Terra Dome, I'm going to hit you up on Discord so we can set up a show. So look forward to that, guys. We're going to do a show together there. 49ers Media, thank you so much for being part of this live as well. Thank you so much for coming up in here. Who else we got? There was somebody else that came up in here. Steve-O, thank you so much for joining this live as well. Always can count on you to show up and hit that like button. Val, OG, always there to hit that like button, support the channel. I appreciate you. And Papa J, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you, man. You're the best mod a bro can ask for sure, man. Thank you guys so much. Just getting closer, just really making this my career. That'd be so fucking cool. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Tyler Health, and I appreciate you coming up in here too as well. Sorry about your Chiefs, man, but you got 2 Super Bowls in the past like 3 years, so you'll be fine. And that's everyone. Thank you guys so much for being in here. You guys are awesome. You guys make this experience what it is. And it continue to blow me away, continue to make me feel humble and be like, I can't believe that this channel is growing and this channel is actually going somewhere and that we continue to have these great conversations. And it's because of you guys. So thank you guys so much for making this go. And I hope one day we can just keep growing and then truly make this a channel where I can just do this for a living. And we're getting there. We're growing every single day. I absolutely love it. And I love you guys. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart, truly. To everybody else who watched this later, sub. If you haven't subbed already, be part of the conversation. Be part of the Wolf Den. Oh, woo! Be part of it, yo. Be part of the family. All right? We like to have a good time. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a 49ers fan. Just come in here, respect, have a good time. You know, just enjoy each other's company. You can talk a little bit of shit, but don't go too far. Just be part of it. Just be part of the NFL world. We all like talking about the NFL. Who doesn't, right? Like the live, so that way this live goes out there, reaches more people. We can grow the family together, and we can grow the conversation as well. Because as you guys know, every single like makes my 49ers heart grow from here to here. All love, fam. I'll see you next video. Bang, bang, not a gang, baby.